points on that note, though, um, including in terms of like just when you're talking about bootstrapping, right? I think everything that we're talking about too comes down to one thing to an extent, and that's the team overall, right? Like I feel like a lot of these projects, without the right team in place and the right people that can really push the levers forward, that's where it can really showcase, the true power of that project and the community itself. Like that's what everything is derived off of,
Oh
right?
yeah, the team is
So
the soul, right?
yeah,
So if they're the team is everything. So I mean, if that's not on, and that's the thing. I mean, you can quickly, the more you play these projects, right, you can see it. You can see it right from the get go. Like for instance, when you're looking over a project when they first enter the market, you can quickly look at their social media, right? And a lot of these people, it's not hard to tell whether or not they game the system or not, right? A lot of these people come in with these crazy numbers, 100,000 followers. They're not following anybody, things like that. But then you
or
look
they
at
have
the
the verified check mark and they just
yeah, yeah,
bought that.
yeah,
Like, there
yeah.
you
And
go.
but then you look at their posts. You go and look at the substance, right? And there's like they'll have minimal. They'll have 30, 40, 50,000 followers, or like I said, up to 100,000 or more, and but they'll have 10 shares, 10 likes. Very minimal engagement. You go on the Discord. It's they got those chat grinders in there. Where you got the teams of people that are just paid to go and just rah 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 and just keep it looking alive. Some of these Discords, they may have teams of 5 or more. I mean 10, God knows how many people that are just in there and that you don't even understand. Right, you're in a whole illusion. You were surrounded, but you're just being marketed. It's just a marketer's illusion. So those things, if you know how to look right, and then also even for like demand, and we talk about velocity of demand a lot of times for projects, looking at, things, because when you watch enough projects, even, there's even, for like how many holders, right? I mean, you want to see
Yep.
really, 2 to 3 per a holder, right? You don't really want to see like people have tons of them where they're just like, and very few people are holding the majority of the collection. And then just sales and demand, right? Again, the velocity, making sure that you're seeing intense velocity. And the more projects you watch, you can kind of see what normal velocity of demand, right? I mean, when a project comes out, I mean, there should be multiple sales a minute, right? I mean, God, sometimes hundreds, right? I'm talking like secondary, not mint. Things like that, right? I mean, paying attention to the velocity of demand in projects. That's another way to kind of feel what's going on, and just make sure that you're protecting yourself, and that you're having fun in this game, right?
Yeah, I agree because it's like a big indicator of whether to get into a project or not, or even to kind of just be involved in that community itself. I know like when I when we make our investment decisions, sometimes with the NFT projects, it's one of the key factors that we look at. Obviously, is the velocity of demand. And for those that don't know how to check um, that out for themselves, Richard, do you mind kind of giving them a brief like review on
Yeah,
like
I
how to
mean,
kind of do
quick. I
that?
mean, just you go into open. If you're on OpenSea, you can look at the activity, right, and you can see it'll also show you a graph where you can kind of see, a trend, and what you're looking for. Again, winning projects, especially right after the mint sold out, you're going into secondary, for weeks, right? You're going to see high velocity of demand, right? And it's normal. You're going to see things over time that it's going to decline, but there's some projects where that velocity of demand, it's an illusion, right? And you see things decline artificially very, very, very quickly. I don't want to say, rug pull style, but where things, it was propped up, right? It was
Yeah,
artificial, it was an illusion. So that's just, be aware of that and watch that, because that's one thing for me. That
that's
and then
actually yeah, that's actually awesome that you're mentioning because that's something a lot of people I feel like don't realize too is that a lot of this demand can be artificial too. Like I've noticed that Steve and I have seen projects where like they have like the project owners would set up like secondary wallets and then start to like pump up their own NFT projects
yeah,
just to
yeah.
make
So
it
all
look
of
like
that
it's
stuff,
true.
you can see through it, right? So again, like it's like football or sports, like watch the hips, not the lips, right? You want to watch the actions, and you can see. So that again, that would show up in an engagement on their social media, things like that, where you can see it's hollow, right? It's not. There's not really a true following. There's not the engagement. Um, and then I think on the other side of things, just another little golden nugget to throw out there, right? This works really well, especially for like artists, right? And I really do believe, just talking about another trend, I think that, art, right? Art has been, I can't say enough, has been, will always continue to be. But you'll see a lot of dollars flowing into art, right? In fact, there's finance reports even saying that NFT art is now a hedge against volatility in the crypto market, right? And if you think about, again, risk in investing, for the larger communities, for this PFP projects, there's so many variables aside from, is it good art, is this good experience, is the community, there's ingredients within the community, there's rivalries, there's all these different things, all these elements, variables that can really kill that investment, or decrease the probability of a good outcome. And when you come to art, which is aesthetically pleasing, right? I mean, art gets you high. You find good art makes you high. You look at it. I'm not. I mean, you guys know this. And that's the thing is there's like one variable, right? There's an artist, and there's maybe two in the art, right? So as long as your artist isn't going out doing anything funky, which we've these amazing people. I don't think they would. In fact, the ones that I'm collecting, I don't know if others outside that circle, but with that, that's where I think you're seeing, even for when the crypto's gone down, you're seeing NFT art and all that stabilize or gone up, right? I mean, because you're seeing a lot of people. I think even for me, the first couple times where you had dashes where there were fluctuations between crypto and NFT, what did I see right away? I saw a lot of the art that I wanted getting more and more expensive as my coins
Yeah.
dropped, right? And I was like, oh my
See,
god! So and it's like,
see,
oh my
like,
god, I gotta get out. So just so you know, I mean, everybody here, the Beeple moment. Up until that point, I mean, I was all into crypto. I've been mining. I still mine Bitcoin and all that. But I took everything, and at that moment, I divested and I put everything 100% into NFTs, and that's where it's at. But anyways, the tip I was getting to is Google Trends. Okay, that's where I was saying, for art and all that. If you type in, an artist, anybody, look at, United States, worldwide, usually worldwide view, you can go back, months, 5 years. I like to go, vary
yeah, you can go
the
back to like 2004, I believe, is like the
yeah, yeah,
latest,
yeah.
the
You can
last.
go back
Yeah.
quite a while, but obviously, a lot of these people, you wouldn't see that data. But for a lot of things, you can do that. But for investing, it's really great because you can also put other artists in there, right? So you can compare all of these other artists, and you can kind of get trends for searches and for demand. And then obviously, when you look at these artists, right, what are you looking at? You're looking for me. I need to see a proportion of the buyers. So I need to see usually 15% or less is selling, right? So I need to see 85 to 90% is holding, that they love this artist. They're not letting go. The higher the better, man. But I don't really like to go anywhere, 15%, anywhere higher than that. Ugh, so things like that you're looking at, and Google Trends, are two of the coolest tools. And then obviously, I look at their social media, I look at their following, I look at any kind of news, things like that, like